All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? All right, let's get to this. Let me send the tweets out and get everybody in here. Gonna wait about 5 minutes until 8:35 Eastern time. I stuttered there. 8:35 a.m. Eastern time, and then we'll get started here. Perfect. All right. DAWS, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oscar, what's going on, my man? Good morning, good morning. Tommy Stonks, good morning. Legit Movers Chicago, good morning. Jane, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Sky's in, good morning, good morning. All right. Why does this always happen? Am I still live here? Yeah, I think I'm still live, right? OTC Lord, good morning. Armand, good morning, good morning. M Frost, good morning. VN, good morning. Fernando, good morning. Dimitri, good morning. YouTube is giving me all sorts of errors here, guys. Is my YouTube working well? Is the stream okay? Good morning, good morning. Okay, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but getting a few errors here. Anyways, let me know if the video and the audio and everything is clear. It's telling me that there isn't enough video to maintain a smooth stream. I'm not even sure what that means. But looks like we're getting a yank here on CPI data in the market across the board. Big yank here on the Qs and the SPY. Walter, good morning. Foolish snowboarder. Good morning. Should be an exciting pre-market. I agree. We're getting this volatility already spiking here. Good morning. Good morning. Is Tommy Stonk still live? Yo, what's happening? Snap about to rip. Just yanked here on CPI data. So a lot of the plays might get ruined here in the open if these pre-market levels don't bounce back. Stop the cap. Stop at that cap. Good morning, good morning. Relaxing, calming sounds. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen you on the stream. Walter, good morning. All right, yep, looks like everything is working here. Not sure why YouTube was giving me errors, but that's fine. Good morning. Can you please go over real quick how to play the free alerts do you want for 2-candle, 2-minute close? Yeah, so we'll go, Jen. We'll go over how to take those trades and how to take advantage of the triggers closer to near the end of the stream when I go over the free alerts. Smooth looks good, perfect. All right. So we'll wait about 3 more minutes here. Looks like CPI numbers are out. A little bit. U.S. January consumer prices plus 0.06%, and the consensus was plus 0.4. 7.5 core CPI over 6% over year. Yeah, so that's the data here. I'm going to post it in Discord so you guys can see it as we wait a little 3 more minutes for everyone else to come in, and then we can kind of take it up from there. All right, so the Qs are just falling heavy here. Okay. All right. Yes, CPI numbers are out for those of you who have not kind of caught up with it. That's why we're getting this yank here across the board. Most names are pulling back here. So we kind of have to wait to see if this balances out going into the open, or we're going to stay down here at these levels. Lots of big names yanking. Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Facebook. These names are all coming down here. 2 more minutes while we get everybody to tune in. I think I put the Discord out. I put the tweet out. Perfect. All right. So hope everybody has had a solid week. And you guys are staying safe out there, man. All right. Perfect. All right, guys, gonna wait about 1 more minute here. Are we still good in chat? I'm not seeing chat moving, so I'm not sure if the chat froze or what's going on, but I think we're still good. Oh, there we go. I jumped in an MU put prematurely and had to exit it, but the call made up for it. There you go. That's how you flip your bias. Perfect. All right, guys, is chat live here? Is chat working? Or did you guys jump to your positions because this market's yanking? Yeah, it looks like chat's working. All right, guys. Getting your messages now. Chat's working. Good morning, everyone. Perfect. All right. So it's 8:36. Let's get going here. Simon, good morning from Toronto. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Perfect. Okay, guys. So we'll get started. Obviously, every Thursday we'll go over the market, the SPY and the Qs. Then we'll get into the free alerts. And then near the end, we'll talk about some of the tickers you guys want me to look at. And yeah, as always, if you're asking me a question about a ticker, make sure you let me know. Are you looking to day trade it? Are you looking to swing trade it? And are you looking for calls or puts? That way I can answer the question a lot better. So perfect. Let's get into it. So what do we have here, guys? We have the market that, we hit these areas here, popped up, and we knew last week on Thursday, we talked about seeing rejections up here and testing that 200 moving average again. That's exactly what we did. We came back down, tested that 200 moving average, and now kind of pushing up, right? So not looking at what's going on in the pre-market here, we had essentially put in this massive cup and handle, and across the board, if you take a look at a lot of the tickers, they're actually doing very similar things. Obviously, now we have CPI data that kind of killed this momentum, but we have to kind of wait to see what happens at the market open, and if we're going to kind of grind back up here, or are we going to try and fill this little gap on the way down before we continue higher? Okay, so obviously here, again, we're coming into that resistance of the 50 moving average. We have to see if we're going to get back above this 458.20. If so, we could try to hit this 460 area and then track back to this congestion area of around 468. Okay, so that's in regards to the SPY. Let's take a look at the Qs. Make note of this, how we are above the 200 moving average in the SPY. Now let's jump into the Qs here very quickly. Similar look where we have this massive cup I'm putting in the handle, but we're hitting this 200 moving average. So we are under the 200 moving average in the Qs. Again, similar look. We need to get back above this 370 in order to track back towards this 50 moving average on the daily. Okay. Now let's take a look at the SPY levels. and see what we're really working with in regards to what levels to kind of trigger on the up or down side. I had these notes written in the pre-market, so let me go into the 15-minute time frame. Perfect. So that 458.20 level was that level that we were keeping an eye on. Okay. We also had another level here. This level at 456.12 was going to be the level that we had to monitor going into the open. Obviously, that level is now broken because we had this CPI numbers come and we really pulled down to this 451 level. So we're going to have to keep eyes on what's going to happen if we do track back to this 456, right? Depending on where we open now, if we pop back to this 456, that's going to be the vital area to keep an eye on. If we can get above this 456, great. It looks like, you know, we might be back into the areas of the pre-market. Then we're going to look at that 458 level to see if we can crack above it and then head towards the 458.50, 460, and ultimately the 462, okay? If we open lower and unable to claim that 456 level, we should see a pullback down to the 454, 453, 452. Now, where does this gap fill on the daily? If we're looking at the daily chart, we have a gap that fills towards the 452 level, this area right here. So if we open and come down towards this 452.60, 452 level, that's going to complete the gap fill to the downside, and we'll keep an eye to see if they're going to hold it up at these levels or track it back up and complete the day that way, okay? So unfortunate that we had this nice yank because we had a lot of good setups coming into today on the bullish side. So we'll see if buyers kind of step back up and bring this back to levels where we can trade at the market open. But a lot of names in the pre-market here breaking down and hitting some supports and bouncing from it currently. We just have to see if we're going to reclaim above those levels. All right. Now, in regards to the Qs, look at that big candle again, right? So there's a level here at 365 that I was keeping an eye on in regards to the Qs. This 365 level right here that we can clearly see as an area of support. We bounced from it once, bounced from it again, and we broke that level. All right. The downside that I was looking at in regards to the Qs was coming down towards that 360.40 level, right? So if we do come back down, we do have room to fall to this 360.40, which lines up with these levels on, what is this, February 8th. We'll have to keep an eye on that level to see what's going to happen there. But if we lose that, we could see a pull down towards this 359 and then 358, which is a vital area again. As you can see, comparing this with the SPY, Qs still look a little bit weaker. So if we fail to reclaim at least 364, we will probably see more sell-off down to that 358. If we do reclaim the 364, and the new areas that we're looking at to the top side will be close to this 366.50, which is the congestion area from yesterday's after hours and pre-market. And we need to get over that if we're going to see any bullish sentiment going into today. All right, so that's in regards to the markets overall. Obviously, lots of volatility here now due to the CPI numbers. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on those levels to see what's going to happen there. Now, getting into the free alerts, I think Jen was asking about how to take them. One of the free alerts is APPS, PFE, and Roblox. So we'll go over these here, and I'll tell you guys how and why I think these are the levels to kind of trade on the charts, okay? So again, because of this big yank, most of these names are pretty much broken down now, so we'll have to look for re-triggers on these. But the level that I was looking at on APPS was this 49.50 level, okay, and this 50 on the top side, okay? So we have this consolidation here. We have this resistance area right here on APPS. We can see that resistance area. We can see that resistance area. And if this level broke to the downside, which it did, I was looking to buy puts and bring it down, which obviously we did. Now the level that we need to keep an eye on is this level of support that we have put in here. So again, at the open, if we break this 48.66, we should see a sell-off at least down to this 45.91, okay? If we somehow decide to push up and the market holds itself up, the top side level that we're looking at is this 50 level, which lines up right here, We break that, we should see a move higher to the upside. Now, when you take these triggers, again, in the first 5 minutes, I oftentimes don't wait for any candles to close. If they look like they're about to break in the first 5 minutes, I take the trade right out of the anticipation, because again, I've traded these long enough to know that if the trigger comes, we are going to see a nice fluid move, and I want to be involved in that. I want to take advantage of that nice fluid move to the downside or the upside, because that's going to give me my biggest percentage increase in options, and I can literally be in and out of the trade within minutes, and that's what I really look for. Now, if it's not within the first 5-10 minutes, let's say we trigger an hour in, because volatility decreases as time goes on, what we're looking for is at 1 hour into the market open, let's say we kind of consolidate here, and then 1 hour into the market open we break. Well, we don't take that break anymore, because now volatility is not high enough. We need to wait for a retest of this level, and on this retest is when you take that put, and then hopefully that continues going back down to the downside, but we need the retest for confirmation. Okay, again, in the first 5 minutes you take the trigger as it happens, and if the time goes on and it's about an hour in, you have to wait for that retest to take the trigger. Okay, next one is PFE. So we can see PFE here consolidated nicely here, has been consolidating nicely at this 51.86 level. Would really want this over the 52. Okay, if we can get over the 52 level, let me put my ticker down here, my line. If we can get over the 52 level, great. We're going to see a nice push back up, because we have this massive pocket from this day where we had that news, right? So if we break over this 52 level, we should see a move higher, at least to that 53.45. And if we get back under the 51 level on the downside, which is right here, we should see a sell-off, again, simply because we have this kind of support area right here at this level. We break that, we should see a continuation down to the downside, at least to these lows of 49.70. Okay, so that's in regards to PFE. Next one on the list is Roblox. PFE actually holding up pretty good and didn't yank with the market. Unfortunately, Roblox, again, same thing, pretty massive yank here. Was watching the downside under the 69.80. Why? Because we have this clear support again at this 69.80, and we have a nice push that happened yesterday from the 68.47 level all the way to here, and that was the consolidation. Now, when that consolidation breaks to the downside, you take that trigger to the downside and you get the move to the next area of support, which was this. And now under that, we could see pulls back down to the 67 and ultimately the 66.30. So with Roblox, because we've already triggered here in the pre-market, we kind of have to wait for a retest of this level. If we open and come back up and retest this level, you could look for some sort of a reversal pattern to present itself, and then you can take a rejection off of this level to bring it back down. Or if we bear flag right here, you could take the trigger down as soon as that bear flag breaks to the downside. So you kind of have to keep your eyes open today, because the only thing that on the free list that's holding up right now is Pfizer. Otherwise, all these other names have kind of sold off, so you have to wait for a retest at this level to continue lower. Now, if we do come back up and get close to that 71.50 level, then you can take the trigger to the upside with room towards that 73.92. All right. So I'm going to take the next 15 minutes and answer any of the questions that you guys may have. Let me know what tickers you guys are looking to trade. Why are you looking to swing trade it? Are you looking to buy calls or puts, or is it a day trade? Let me know. I'll go over the chat right now, and I'll see if there's anything you guys want me to go over, and we'll discuss those for you guys. GME. Let me take a look at GME. Usually I wouldn't entertain this, but the GME and AMC chart actually looked pretty good yesterday for a nice little push up. So, I mean, you're just not going to have to wait for some sort of pattern to present itself. The daily will have room probably to the 130.60 level, and then probably 137. Again, these are meme names, so approach cautiously. Don't try to YOLO your account or full port your account on these names. Trade with small size. IV implied volatility is massively high on these. They're sitting at around 250% IV, so you could get IV crushed very easily. Okay. AMD looked good coming into that 200 moving average, but we need to take a look at the 15-minute time frame now. as we have kind of sold off here in the pre-market. Would have been perfect if we held up, pushed up over this 133.50 level, and then we could have taken the move higher. But now that we're breaking down, again, we really need to focus on what the market's going to do here at the open. Not sure if you're trying to buy puts or calls, but what you're going to have to pay attention to is, well, what are we going to do at this level right here? So you can see we bounced off at this level. We have support right here at this level. This area right here also lines up with that 200 moving average on the 15-minute. This 128 level is going to be vital. So, you know, you kind of want to see what's going to happen. Are we going to sell off and sit here? And two things can happen at this point. We're either going to bear flag, right? And then you're going to take the trigger down to the downside, or we're going to look for some sort of a reversal pattern. And what are the reversal patterns we're looking at? We're looking at a double bottom, right? And then you can take the neckline break to the move back up, or you're going to look for some sort of a head and shoulder to take place, and then you take that trigger to the upside. Sorry, inverse head and shoulder, and you take that trigger to the upside. Okay, so keep an eye on this level. If it bear flags, it could continue lower, and if it puts in a reversal, then you can take the trigger to the upside, push it back to that 130.60. Can you check GME? I bought it a few days ago. I thought it will go to the resistance of 130, 130.49. I think I just talked about GME. I'm not sure if it's going to go to 149, but it does look like it could possibly go to the 130s. Thoughts on SoFi? Again, let me know what you want to do with SoFi. So, are you looking to buy calls, puts? What's the game plan here? Not a fan of this chart. Haven't been really a big fan of this chart. Too choppy, too many retail names in it. And right now it's sitting at around 1250 here in the pre-market. Needs to get back above this 13 level. If it does, then you can see a push to the 1350 and then 14. Not something I'm interested in trading. just something that has too many retail names in it, and any pop can really get stuffed. You can see here it popped, stuffed, and you know I'm not a big fan of that here. The sell-off increasingly happened, that kind of pushed up. The chart is very erratic, so as a day trade, I'm not really interested in it. And I haven't really looked into the company long enough to understand what is it that they do and what their financial is if you're looking to start a long-term position on it. Again, let me know what you're looking to do. Are you looking to day trade, calls, puts, swing trade, so I can kind of answer the question a little bit better. GLD bullish with high CPI, showing strength since last week. So yes, this gold names have been pretty strong. Even silver has been doing fairly well here. Lots of strong push here into the last few days, going from the 166 area pushing up to this 170. Not a name that I like day trading, but you're gonna have to wait for some sort of a consolidation happen on a daily, and then you can look to kind of take a trade on it. Currently, to take this here at this level is a little extended. It could very easily roll back over and hit that 20 moving average, so you have to give it some time to kind of consolidate. The chart is pretty wacky, as you can see, just gaps up and lots of dojis all over the place, essentially. So be careful with this name, and there's lots of better things that you could trade. UPST swing. UPST is sitting at 108.70 right now, so this yank in the pre-market pulled it down some bit. As a swing trade, we really would need this to get back above 121. If it gets above 121, we can kind of complete some sort of an inverse head and shoulder. We can get above this major pivot high. Then you can look for moves up to the 132 area. Again, you are in a downtrend. You're fighting the downtrend if you're looking to buy swing calls on the upside. So understand that, and don't wait for a massive move. The swing is not going to go all the way to 170. You have 50 moving average right above you. You have 128 right above you. So you're going to have to take profits as they come. Twitter puts. I think you're talking about day trade. So Twitter just had earnings today. I didn't pay attention to what the earnings are. Again, another thing here with Twitter that you need to pay attention to is that increased IV due to the earnings report. So IV is sitting at around 300% right now. If you drop under the 38, your IV crush is going to kind of kill you. If you do buy puts, same thing. The IV crush will kind of go against your premium. So you kind of have to pay attention to that. But under the 38 level, it could see a sell-off back down to this 37.20 and then 36 area, which is right here, 36.30. Okay, so wait for that 38 level to break. If it does, you can try the puts on the downside. Does your put trigger move when the pre-market finds support at a lower level than the initial level? It depends. Sometimes, you know, my triggers are not just based on pre-market levels. They're sometimes based on daily levels. So it depends what the strategy was going into the trade, right? For example, some of the ones we talked about today, I think we're referring to the pre-market levels, right? Like this one, an example. So yes, I mean, if that trigger breaks, we would need some sort of another consolidation similar to this for me to adjust the trigger. If we don't get that consolidation, then great, I have to wait for the market to open and I have to look for intraday patterns. Then, you know, that's a whole different thing. It has nothing to do with triggers at that point. We have to wait for the market to kind of open to show us what patterns they're giving us to trade. Would you can take a look at MU and NVIDIA? Herein, again, you gotta let me know what you want to do with MU and NVIDIA. Let me know if you're looking to buy calls, puts, day trade, or swing trade. Then I can kind of take a look at it and let you know. VLNS is one of my long-term holds. Looks like it finally found bottom, but who cares what what? Let's go Canadian cannabis. VLNS. I've never even looked at that name. Oh wow, nice push the last few days here. Good job. So I mean, a little bit of a W here, double bottom, triggering over that 206 level. Nice push up off of the lows here. What are we at? We're up almost 40%, 50% here. So nice move, just kind of get it going here. Above this 263 level can really start squeezing on this name. Thanks, great advice on GLD. Very welcome. LLY call swing above 244.50. Let's take a look at LLY. I'm really disappointed with how the market yanked here pre-market. I'm not gonna lie, we had a lot of good setups going into today. LLY call swings above 244.50. So let's take a look at 244.50. 244.50. Okay, I see that. So nice little consolidation resistance here. We rejected it yesterday. 244.50 looks like it's yesterday's high. Yeah, if we can get back above that level, right now you're sitting at 240. So this gap down again affected this name as well. Oh wait, no, the bids and spreads are pretty tight, so there's not much activity there. So yeah, over this 244.50, you could see a push to this 246.50. Okay, as far as the swing goes, there's too much overhead and not a big enough pattern to swing trade this. If you want to take it over the 244.50, great. You know, you could get in there and see what it does at this 246 level, 246.70. If it gets back above that, closes strong, great. You can hold it for another day and see if we can attack this 251.90 level, okay? But you're gonna have to be careful because this 20 moving average could act as resistance and it could reject back down. So take the trigger whenever it gets over that 244.50 and then look how it closes. If it closes strong, great. You can take a look at holding it for another day. With inflation data out, do you think playing puts will be safe? You know, I'm not gonna put too much weight on what was really with the inflation data and CPI numbers coming out. I'm just gonna simply focus on the levels that I have, right? Again, I'm not gonna let some sort of news event give me a bias on something. Because oftentimes, you know, most of these moves that you see that are aggressive like this are algo related moves. And as people kind of take a look deep into what's really going on and as analysts come out and talk, things kind of shift and might change sentiment. And you know, if you have a bias towards something, you're going to be the only one left with that bias and it's going to affect you really. So it's just simple levels. If we get back under this 452 level, great, we can see more sell-offs into the 451.80 under that 450.50, okay? Pop back above the 454.50, great, we can look back to retest these levels at the higher areas of 456. So it's just based on a levels game for me. I don't let any specific data or news to kind of affect my opinion on what's going on. Can you check Lucid? Wait, your opinion on any MU options? Again, you're not really telling me what you want to do. MU options, like calls, puts, which 90. Let me see. I don't know. YouTube is giving me all sorts of issues today, man. I can't see the chat anymore. Give me 1 second. Can you check Lucid? I set 28 level as entry point for long swing. I'm not sure why everybody loves swinging in this market. I just don't understand why people want to swing so much. The market is still not really ready to swing. Lucid is under that 200 moving average. You have the level set at 28 as an entry for long position. So 28 was all the way down here. The stock is sitting at around 28.12. I don't see a swing in this. I don't see a swing in this at all. You're under that 200 moving average. 200 moving average could act as resistance. If it gets back above this, 30.85 level, possibly great. You could try to take that swing there and push it towards the 20 moving average and then the 33. But other than that, I'm not trading this. I'm not swinging this anywhere under this 200 moving average. It needs to get back above that level. MU NVIDIA options for lead calls as both are looks very good. MU and NVIDIA, keep talking about these two names for calls. For leaps, I always say if you're looking to buy something long term, start at the 200 moving average. And if anyone listened to what I've said in the last year or so that I've been making content, that 200 moving average would have been ideal. And now you're up, quite a few bits of points, 40 points, right? To buy leaps here, again, I don't like buying leaps simply because I don't like to put myself in a situation where time is eating away at my premiums. I'd rather buy my long-term positions with shares. That way I control the time myself and I eliminate things like theta, IV, and all that other aspects, okay? How long have you been trading, sir, and are you full-time? I trade full-time, and this January I hit 8 years. All right, guys, so I know lots of issues with Twitter. Lots of issues with YouTube today. So if you guys are still here, I greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and like the video if you guys haven't done so already. I remember every Thursday I do go live, and I will be back here again next Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll talk to you guys then. If I missed any of your questions, go ahead, reach out to me on Twitter or Discord. Let me know what you're thinking, and we'll kind of talk over what your plans are for that ticker and so forth. All right. Appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. I got to get back to the Discord and get ready for today's trading session. So we'll catch you guys all next week. Thank you all for tuning in and have yourself a safe trading day.